Hey YouTubers, it's Michael here with The Chosen and Beyond. So with The Chosen and Beyond, we'll be focusing on my favorite scenes from seasons 1 through 4 that have been released so far, why these scenes I think are really important, how they impacted me, and what insights I gathered from them. So if you haven't seen episode 8 of The Chosen, that's season 1, I recommend you watch it. You can see here in this scene, this is Jesus waiting for the woman at the well on his way to Samaria with the disciples, and he sends the disciples to the village to get some food while he's kind of hanging out getting some spiritual food for himself with letting the woman here know that he is the Messiah. And I just love this scene. You can see she's kind of startled and wondering who this person is before he begins to speak. So really for me, starting with season 1, episode 8, I Am He, this really sparked an interest in me because at the end of the scene where Jesus meets with the Samaritan woman, who we find out's name is Tina, and she goes by at the Chosen Con, where I ran into Photina, it was really amazing because when she said the word Christ, she said, "You know these things because you are the Christ." I completely froze. I was very shocked. I think the reason why I was so shocked was because this is the first time I've heard this word, and I've been watching the whole series, and never has the word Christ been used. So I started researching it, researching what the word Christ really meant. So as I look at this scene here with Photina looking at Jesus, and she's kind of in awe, she's just kind of starting to understand that he is the Christ. I really just thought it was so powerful, so moving that someone that was just without faith, so lost, within almost a snap of a finger could then realize, wow, I can be saved, and I can pray, and I can really believe that this is the Messiah who has come. And of course, there are several different meanings for the word Christ, but really it meant Savior. And to the Hebrew people, right, it really meant, right, the Messiah was coming, right? It was going to be the Messiah, right? And he was going to save everybody. So when I saw the woman at the well say this really struck a chord with me. And personally, growing up in Christian school and middle school, I didn't really... we prayed, but we didn't really pray a lot. And in this scene where Photina is speaking to Jesus, she's basically saying, I wanted to worship, even if you are the Messiah, and I wanted to worship you, I couldn't. I'm not even supposed to. I'm not allowed to go to the temple. Basically, they told her she couldn't really pray or worship. And I just thought that was really, really impactful. And I also related that to some of my days back at Catholic school. So it really related to me, the childlike thought of, I really am only supposed to pray here. I have to pray this way. And here's this woman, Photina, at the well, basically saying, even if I could want to pray, I don't even know how, and I don't even know if I'd be allowed to. And that really, really was one of the reasons I really started to get into The Chosen. So being at Catholic school, it wasn't really a rule, but I felt like we could only go and pray when we went to the church, when we went into the cathedral or whatever building it was, that's where we would pray. So just to kind of wrap up in this video for season 1, episode 8, I Am He, my favorite scene being Jesus with the woman at the well, Photina, right? It's John 4, and just really, really impacted me, had me thinking of my childhood. What was I supposed to be doing when I prayed? How was I supposed to pray? And it was just really impactful for me. I really love The Chosen. I think they've done an amazing job of portraying what it was like for the followers of Christ during this time, which is so different now for the followers now. We have so many resources. We have the internet. We have Bibles we can download. We have shows we can watch. There's artwork from Italy and the Renaissance and all these different things where we can watch, see and learn from art and from interpretation. But back then they had very little resources, right? They had the Word, They had the word being spoken on the street, or if they could even read, and then maybe the book or the parchment they would maybe be able to read, and that's all that they had. So really, really, just so thankful to the Chosen Studios, 5 and 2 Studios, for everything that they've done. I think it's just an amazing show. I highly recommend it, and I will put my notes down in the chat comment section on my favorite scenes and a little bit of scriptures that I tie into. Specifically, this was John 4.